pick off Orianna very early on, or even get to Kog'Maw, that'd be absolutely wonderful for them. But I want to see what they do lane swap wise, or if they even do one, because Yasuo versus Kayle is not a favorable matchup for Yasuo. But Nian is good enough that he would be able to just go toe to toe. He'll lose out on some CS. But that we've seen him do that on Yasuo before, where he just got pushed out of lane. He's like, I'm going to farm bottom for 10 minutes now, and it's like, okay, now I'm ready to fight.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a fun one to look for. I agree with you that Kayle's going to have a generally good time. I think just to set up the story, there's ways to outplay that matchup if you outskill your opponent. Right, if Nian has the mastery, right? Early game, you get the 4-stack E and you get some slices down on there. And then by the time you've got enough CDR to permanent Righteous Fury on Kayle, you've probably got Static Shiv.
Yeah.
Right, by the time Axis come out, Static Shiv comes out, so you've got ways to burst through even though E is always on. So there's ways in, I think, that Nian can hold this matchup up, and he's a good enough player, he might just go for it anyway.
Yeah, and that's a big thing we're going to have to keep an eye on here is the shot callers and what happens in their lanes and how much attention they pull to it. Because Nian Tanso in that top lane, if he can get going, he can take the game completely over, whereas Lo relies on rotations. He relies on, if we win this lane, we're spilling over into others instead of pushing straight down it. And just taking over the entire map and wrestling dragon control. Now, Nian Tanso's shot calling, it's actually been pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen it. Same with Lo, though. And the fact that Laud has typically been winning his lane just off of just sheer skill up against Baby Zeus, have to see how that shapes up for him, because Baby Zeus is no pushover in any regard.
Yeah, he is not really. So here's going to be the fun one to watch for. These guys square off in the beginning of the game. So far, I don't actually want to say normal lanes, because look at this. Hood Stomp's coming back around the map for the left-hand side. So LoLPro are going to initiate the two-man top lane. Looks like Fang Gaming will not do that themselves. And we're going to have most likely a lane swap scenario then as the level 1s pan out. Trinket wards come down. Now, Fang Gaming, they did see that. I believe they saw that little river brush in the southeast river, that ward come down, so they know when it times out, and they could do a delayed invade off that ward timing out.
We'll have to see if that's what they go for, but they're all grouped up here on this side. You can see that Hoodstomp is in the top lane by himself right now, so no matter what, they're going to go for a lane swap here for LoLPro and try to get him some free farm, so they're not going into the Yasuo into Kayle matchup.
This is actually going to be pretty bad for Fang Gaming right here. They've warded to actually watch the invade, but they've got to leave. They wanted to do a greedy start. They won't be able to get anything out of it, so they've got to run away, lose a bit of time. At least we'll have to solo her jungle. It'll still be a 2-buff start for both sides, but it's time lost right now for Fang Gaming, as LoLPro are still already getting the farm in the top lane, and heck, their top laner wasn't going to farm anyway.
There's a big thing here, too, is Nian Tanso on Yasuo. He's got to trek his way all the way to the other side of the map, because he's not going to get any experience just sitting around in that jungle area, whereas Heaventime and Hauntzer, they're taking their jungle.
And they're going to live up there. They're going to full clear the waves and keep getting a bunch of golden experience there. Looks like they'll run back and grab their own blue buff. So Ziploc level 2 here on Elise. Nian going to help and join this as they go for what looks like the Wraith camp and the opposing red buff. This is safe, of course, with all the information that they had there from their defensive wards. And here we go.
Just the swaps and seeing if they go for a 4-on-0, but also at the same time, LoLPro, where do they move next after this? They're going to go get the Wolves at the same time. Most likely the Wraiths will be getting taken. They leave one up. They decide not to get the timer, but instead to delay it.
That's a different style than Fang Gaming. They're actually going to look for
3.5-minute dragon.
The early dragon. Thing is, so Yasuo Windwall, he doesn't actually have it. He didn't share any experience, pretty much whatsoever. So he does not have Windwall to block the damage output here. LoLPro actually, they aren't looking at this at all, and they didn't push the top lane either. So this is an uncontested dragon, well picked up by Fang Gaming. Really, really well done by Fang as well to just juggle all this aggro. You're getting barely any damage coming out from the dragon. Exceptionally well done. And the 3.5-minute dragon goes down.
Yeah, they end up getting it for themselves. You know that LoLPro had an idea that it was happening because they saw the bottom lane leave. And you don't just leave that free farm lane. And now in the mid lane, we see that Lo has just come middle. He just hung out for a little bit. And up top, he left Hoodstomp to just free farm. So they're trying to put a lot of resources into that Kog'Maw, whether it's levels or CS, and see if he can carry the game in that mid-game, late-game portion. Whereas Hauntzer, late-game Kayle is just an utter beast.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they can get to that point. Both these teams are hyper damage.
Yes. And just enough utility to back it up, potentially. to snuff out one of the hyper carries and kill him before they can do anything. Logan make his way down to the bottom lane here, helping a 3-man as Haunter and Heaven Time just shove this lane out, preventing any freeze possibility. Big Wave will reach the turret, but we still got some time till those turrets take significant damage from champions. If that means much, Ziploc going to be grabbing his own camps at the top side of the map, a little bit more of a reserved style from Fang Gaming, where they're letting Nien just sort of sit here, fight Hoodstomp in a 1v1.
This game is going to be a big test of mechanics and individual skill coming into the team fights, because you can team fight really well, but nobody's going to have a tank. Your junglers are going to be mildly tanky at best. You don't have a designated tank on either side. It's going to be based on the utility that Kayle brings, Orianna brings, and that Lulu brings to your team, and how well can you coordinate yourself in the middle of a fight to avoid damage.
Absolutely. Look at that. Oh, Baby's taking some damage. Look, you talk about not having tanks. Look at the item build for Captain Ziploc. He rushed an early Ruby Crystal. We did see Sightstone before a Spirit item in LCS today. I wonder if you see it, before upgrading all the way, but actually first off, Hoodstomp in the top lane, taking some damage. Will he get the Cocoon? Jukes back and forth, does land that, but Nian's got nothing else to do in this one, so we'll just trade blows, but we might actually see Sightstone just off the machete.
Oh, down bottom, Heaven Time's looking for Baby Zeus.
Ooh, nearly lands the Q onto Lulu. Could have been some nice damage there, but instead, just pushing away from golden experience. You're seeing, honestly, Baby Zeus denied pretty well here. Lot and Heaven Time making some good moves.
Yeah, and now we see Ziploc. He's trying to answer this, trying to get to the mid lane, but he's a little bit outmatched.
I don't think... Yeah, I'm surprised he's even showing up at all. There's no way they get any meaningful damage there. He does help Baby set him for CS.
Is coming too.
Okay.
They're just all going to group together and make some rotations towards that mid lane. No reason to be top when the AD carry and the support are there.
True.
They're just going to be freezing the lane and trying to zone you. So he's going to go back to doing the jungle, being an honorary jungler for a little while.
Honorary jungle in the end. It's the only role he hasn't played yet.
Well, he's playing it right now.
Yes. Okay. Now, if Nien could just play support one game, he'll tie Chouster for playing every role in top-tier competitive play.
He's getting there.
He's got a few guys like that, actually.
That's true. There's a couple of those
Or on like 3 or 4. Like, Elements is on, I think, 3 lanes. He hasn't played AD carry yet. He's played everything else.
Leona just hanging out in that bush. Baby Eater, looking for a victim. He's not going to get anything for it. And now the first backs are coming out here for a lot of the lanes. We just see a lot of Dorans being stacked on, as well as boots for Haunter. At the same time, the mid laners have their chalices ready, going for that standard Athene's Unholy Grail. And what's Niantanso going to get? Yeah, he's going straight crit already.
He's going for the Shiv. Makes a whole bunch of sense. I do think it's a smart build. I think as a random note, oh, hold on, he's going to go top lane. Okay, no one's around.
They're not going to punish him for this either. That's a huge wave.
That's going to be, yeah, pretty much guaranteed farming this guy, and it's going to be LoLPro looking to make some moves around the map instead with those freed up champions. I assume we can get a Cutlass. Oh, interesting. So it's a Triforce rush actually for Hoodstomp. The early Phage comes out. Pretty similar combat stats to Cutlass, but wanting Triforce before Ruined King.
Yeah, he doesn't need the sustain if he's not going to go into a 2v2 lane, but it looks like that's what they're looking for in the bottom lane.
Well, keep in mind, he does have a Nami teammate, so
that's
sustain
true.
is something you have regardless. And to be fair, if you actually are going to fight Leona Lucian, 200 health is better than lifesteal.
That's absolutely right. And the fact that he can chase him down, or he can go ahead and a little bit of disengage if you attack him and run away.
Yeah. It's really minor. Like, I'd never notice Phage move speed on AD carries.
If you kill something,
it technically exists. I just never notice it.
Well, they found another thing here that I want to point out is they left Niantanso to catch up in the top lane.
Yeah,
he's level 5. He's pretty close to level 6. He's gotten 13 CS now, more than Haunter, which is crazy. They were just shutting him down all game. Now he's level 6. And Ziploc, he went for it.
Heaven Time gets the better smite, though. Captain Ziploc just takes a bubble for a condolence prize, and out he goes. So well done, LoLPro. They make the invade. And that wasn't even like a numbers advantage on that side of the map. It was a straight, what would have been a 4-on-4, and they just got it. It wasn't even a buff they killed. They timed that off the jungle route of their opponents.
It's very swift and decisive in that moment. And now Niantanso, he's going for this blue, but they know he's there.
That's super. I don't think he can. There's like almost no way he gets that away for free. So yeah, he aggroes it, and he's like, you know what? They know about this. He backs on off. So very well done by Heaven Time and the rest of LoLPro. The lotations, as we talk about, and that was very successful here. So Captain Ziploc gonna look at his own red buff. Of course, there's a little piece left, so there we go.
And now the enemy red buff just came up, but I don't think that's what's going to be in his sight. I think it's going to be Haunter in the top lane. I think Nien might be calling for a little bit of help. See if they can get it rolling. Oh, he's going aggressive.
He's going to look for the play. He's got the knockup available. Can he get one on a Haunter that would allow the Elite Sync to come through? Does not land that one, unfortunately, but there comes the Cocoon. Good flash by Haunter.
Ends up trading a flash for Cocoon. Now repeat ganks are very possible,
Yeah.
very probable.
Oh, yes.
There was no ward there, and now he knows that there's no ward. He's like, yeah, you didn't see that coming. You had to flash it. So now he's gonna
Pick a different brush anyway.
Different answer, different route.
Ian should have seen that trinket go down. They should know about that trinket in that heavy forward brush, so you can't walk any farther forward without giving away the gank attempt, which actually means he's really coming from the wrong angle now at this point. In the end, looks for the knockup, gets it, no ulti.
Decides not the last breath off of it. He'll be ready in just a second, and they're going to go for it.
All right, can they get enough for this one? More damage comes through. He has the knockup available. There's the ulti used by Kale. So they're forcing cooldowns away, but nothing substantially gained right here, except some farm in the end.
Yeah, at the same time, though, they're going to go ahead and push this turret down. Haunter has no flash, no intervention. He's very vulnerable. But now that they see the jungler top, they go straight for the dragon.
Okay, so they earned enough pressure top lane to push the turret down, but LoLPro have also earned themselves this bottom lane dragon. It'll be a trade of almost equal value right here. LoLPro actually only 300 gold ahead right now. Very, very close. No, sorry, back to minus 400. There we go. Yeah, the initial dragon did go to Fang Gaming, if I remember properly. So
they got that dragon very early on.
Yeah, the very early one, right? So slight overall global objective lead to Fang.
But there's still turrets that are ripe for the taking here. Man, Nian's actually doing really well in terms of CS as a top laner.
Yeah.
Top laners usually get shut down very hardcore, but I also want to touch on Lod's CS. He's at 103 at 10 minutes versus Baby Zeus, who's at 69.
Yes, this is one matchup that was actually really miserable for Fang Gaming so far, and that's one you got to be really worried about. And Orianna that gets big, quick, actually destroys AD carries. By the time she's at Athene's death cap, you lose more than half your health. If you're a Lucian, you've got to play around that so incredibly well, and it's hard.
It's incredibly hard. And the fact that he's usually you typically see something like 90 on a really good player at 10 minutes. Lod, 108.
Yeah, like the LCS average is like, what, mid to high 70s, I think?
Yeah. Lod, and he came from being an AD carry player, so this is what he knows.
Mechanics, actually with much weaker right clicks, to be fair, it's actually a lot harder when you have 50 AD compared to 74, but...
Clockwork windup, that's what I'll blame it on.
No, it definitely helps. It's more like 65, so I'll give you that one. But there's a flash forced away by Heaven Time. Looks like Fang Gaming trying to make plays right here. Both top laners have teleport available if there's a big fight down here. But with the fact that Hoodstomp just recalled back for his Sheen, he and Low were nowhere around, so numbers advantage Fang.
It's pretty funny because across the board, we see Nian Tanso's up 20 CS, and then his bottom lane's up 10 CS, but then in the mid lane, Lod's up 40.
Yeah.
So it basically just evens out throughout all of it. And now Ziploc, he's looking for something here. They cleared out the pink ward. Whether it's just the Wraith or not. Ooh, going after Nian Tanso.
Ward hop, Heaven Time's going to be in a pretty good spot there. Nian does have the knockup available.
If he can dodge the next Q.
He does it.
He has wind wall.
Ooh, can he block the Q?
That's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for him to throw the wind wall out before Heaven Time throws out another Q. Yeah. That's what it was. He's just like, I'm waiting for you to do it first.
They both know. The burst goes in. LOH just gets exploded. The first blood goes over to Baby Eater, and he's going to have fish for dinner.
I talked about it before. The Zenith Blade in lane against the Nami is extremely powerful. You have to peel her off afterwards, and Low got stunned as he flashed. So he ended up just eating so much damage there from the culling from Latman.
And not even able to exhaust anything useful, so that spell is still available. Again, no ulti, as we all mentioned. These spells really not doing much for the guy, but Fang Gaming keeping their team now on the bot lane. Here you're seeing this lane get pushed out. No dragon to do, no buffs to steal, so it's just a kill. And it's going to buy them time to put wards down, but that's their gain from this kill. A couple of wards, nothing else.
Yep. A lot of pinks already coming out here. Pink on the 80 carry for Latman. Looking to put that one down. And actually...
Ooh, wow. Low did not need to be right there. And Captain Ziploc, though, doesn't get really too much damage on it anyway. He's going to back out with the repel, so not too bad. Hoodstomp still winning around trying to farm. 104 CS on COG.
The fun thing is Ziploc actually went for the Ancient Golem just full out. When he bought the Ruby Crystal, he went for cooldown reduction first.
Part of a Kindle Gem, yeah. But it's Heaven Time actually rushed Sightstone. He did that off Machete. So Lee Sin's been putting wards down the entire freaking game. Haunter again, not getting initiated on. I'm a little bit surprised that Nian's not just blowing the ultimate just for harass. Hold on, first off though, LoLPro, oof, nice jump in right there. Nothing stolen away.
Baby
Good
got
blue
it
buff
too.
was Baby Zeus, yeah.
That's big, is that they coordinated, I'm going to smite now so you can go ahead and Glitter Lance. Otherwise it could have been stolen very easily off of that.
But yeah, the point I was trying to make earlier though, I'm actually surprised Nian is not just using his ultimate. So it's something that Katarina players do as well. Hold on, another fight. Never mind. Log getting jumped on again. Big damage. Another burst comes through. They know he's available. But the exhaust onto Latman. He's got to get away from this one. Tidal Wave will not hit both, but Hood Stomp just gets some damage and Baby Eater, and that team has to back off.
Baby Eater going really ham on that one, but damage on a support is not worth the damage on an AD carry.
Unless you can lifesteal it back in a short amount of time. Right now, looks like that's not the case here for these guys. You've got Baby Eater aggroing the white, and Latman's attacking it. Just maybe they can defend their turret.
Lod has just put his farm pants on. 156 at 14 minutes. He's taking the rates every time they're up.
Yeah, he's getting nice and big there. Scary Oriana's, again, it's a threat there. He's actually got the early Sork shoes as well, so he's really pushing for his damage to squishies more than anything else.
That was the matchup that we wanted to keep an eye on, too. We've seen Lod in the past, after transitioning over, having great transition. But Nian's going aggro, but he doesn't know he's surrounded.
Play, knock up onto one there, going in for Hanser, who's going to ult himself now. Nian forced to run away for this one. Captain Ziploc looks like he'll be able to defend the team, and Heaven Time and Hanser now forced to run. Flash used for not much, because there's Repel to show up anyway. Damage comes out, Nian misses the Q. Q comes in though, and here comes Lod though, and they're going to get the kill picked up. Lee Sin claims that Ziploc's got nowhere to go either. He stayed a little bit too long, and that will be a 2 for 0 thanks to Lod's roam. Baby Zeus shows up, does not pick up any kills. Now he's in a 1 versus 3, trying to run away with Whimsy, but Lod is still there. The Oriana mechanics, one more attack. Oh, the ulti is still keeping him alive. The summoner heal as well. The Q, one more hit. Glitterlance lands, and he can't quite chase him down, but even still 2-0 LoLPro.
Everything being used there to get Baby Zeus out at the end. Fantastic gank there by Heaven Time, and just a little bit of miscommunication. Niantanso comes in, doesn't know that Heaven Time's there. The ultimate comes down from Hanser, and now he actually comes back in and eats the Sonic Wave as soon as we see Oriana come back up. There's not enough time for that. The TP comes through and he gets it.
There we go. Kill picked up. Nicely done by LoLPro. That top lane fight, though. Such miscommunication, though.
Yeah.
Ian is running away while Captain Ziploc's chasing him out, and just he even missed the wind wall in the KL queue. Like, a lot of unfortunate misplays there, and now this Leona taking some pain.
Yeah, and a big thing about that was that Lod got there before Baby Zeus did. Baby Zeus was off on the right side when Lod went up to the left, and he's like, oh, I'm lagging behind now, and it took him too long to even get in the fight. And by the time he got there, he's just getting zoned out by a double buff Lod.
Yeah, pretty scary. And you saw just amazing play. 176 CS, 102. Again, part of every kill for his team. So man of the hour for sure. Frank Fang Gaming, though, wanting to take away on this Dragon. Lee Sin is far away, but just the power's too much. Hood Stomp. Man, I love Namikog, such a strong lane.
Yeah, it's an extremely strong lane. You get a ton of damage off, and the ranges on it are actually very good. And Niantanso looking for something here. We see Ziploc, everybody else, trying to take control of that right side. Nami just backed, Low is gone, so they will start this dragon up.
And there we go, damage coming through, and again, it's Frank Fang just trying to force the issue. These calls being made by Nian. This one looks like it might pay out. Heaven Time wants to steal, won't get it. He does have flash, but there's way too much CC. Well done, Frank Fang Gaming, to get that kill. Nian thankfully had his third Q available for the knock-up, and that was very well done.
Well, here's the thing, is they're going to get more off of it because they're all grouped up in this mid lane. Kale has no teleport. Hanser is up in the top lane. They see it. They're taking control of the jungle, and they're going to go after
There's Leon ulti. They can go for Lod. He's got to be pretty careful this one. Hood's not taking damage. Baby Zeus taking a lot of damage, and a missed solar flare. A two-man shock, but they go in anyway, and they pick up that kill. A win will help to keep the team alive as well. LoLPro now forced to run away under their tier 2 turrets. Captain Ziploc still chasing the second time he's gone hyper-aggressive, but he's at least got Spiderlings to keep himself safe, and that will be a second kill picked up, plus more damage in this turret.
And they lost their AD carry, went off to the side instead of doing damage to this tier 1 turret, so it doesn't go down because they're too focused on the dive. They do get Lod, though.
Yeah.
And now he gets more CS in the bottom lane, stacking up that Bloodthirster, making it all worth.
He's actually going for Triforce second. That's what the longsword's for, almost definitely there. So mid-game Power Spike Lucian build here. I guess the same really for this Kog'Maw of Hood Stomp as well. And we'll see if these guys continue to match up, how those fights end up going. Right now, the LoLPro haven't found themselves in a properly numbered team fight yet. So something to worry about for these guys. But look at that. Latman's got to be real careful. If only he got that Nami Eon sooner, that might have been something he could chase down.
Hood Stomp has red.
Yeah.
The whole thing. So he's hitting him, getting that slow onto him, and seeing if he can track him down. But, you know, Lucian removes slow, so he's a little bit safer than most AD carries in this regard.
I like that move right there. So this is smart. Heaven Time uses his E and his Q to trigger his attack speed.
Yeah.
So if he gets caught, his W is still up. Even though it's more efficient to use one skill twice.
Get caught.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Whew.
Ward Hoppy's going to be fine. But that's really small point for Lee Sin players out there. Use E and Q to proc your passive when you're killing wards. You can ward hop away after.
It's been tip time with Freak.
Yep. Be a good waiter with all these tips.
Yeah. think of my tip to you.
I went backwards in that one.
Yeah, my tip to you as a waiter would be get a new job.
Casting's more fun.
Yeah, well, I don't think you'd make a very good waiter. I'm just saying.
I'm too impatient.
Yeah.
Well, bottom lane tier 2 turret being attacked, or tier 1 turret I should say being attacked. Kevin Ziploc waiting in the wings for an attempt right there. They do see Lisa in mid, so they know it's a 3-on-2. They go in hood stomp, taking a good bit of damage, but they don't get the umbrella out from this Baby Eater in time to get the lock up there. He's going to stay safe. Trading ultimates. Vlad has a new blue buff. He's going to hold mid. That turret staying safe right now. Looks like Baby Zeus will not put any more pressure down, but he will maybe try to roam around the bottom side. Whips. Doesn't care. He's just trying to get down for the fight.
Disregard pick wards, acquire gank.
I mean, this gank is acquired. There's no way you defend this one. So that's going to be a turret acquired here very faithfully. Mid lane is actually not being counterpushed, but actually it's the bot lane counterattack, but they're not going to be there in time. LoLPro, no reason to show up here. They could have got mid turret damage.
He runs straight by the ward, and Lot actually takes his time to clear that one out. Meanwhile, they lose bottom turret. Now Fang has a little bit of lead, but they go after Low. He has no flash.
Outnumbered, and Low goes down. Extremely smart move there by Fang Gaming. And now in 3v2, they just back off. But here comes Orianna. It is going to be a 3-on-3 mid lane. Cleared by everybody, and these guys do get away safely.
Just in sync, too. Now, they're still sieging the bottom lane, though. That's actually something they have to worry about. Baby Eater off on the side. It's going to be a 2-on-3. Hits him with the Q. Stops his back.
Okay.
They're pinned down right now.
Mid lane, Outer is going to be going down Baby Zeus. He roamed down to make a gank happen, then he stayed mid and got the turret kill. So far, these mid-game choices, the Baby Zeus have been very, very smart. Bottom lane, Outer taking a whole bunch of pain. They got to be a bit careful because you've got damage on both sides, but the turret does fall. Kevin Ziploc gets kicked back in, gets healed up, and he stays alive. Now Log gets jumped on, and big damage comes through. Latman claims that one. Now can they win the 2v2? Hanser is going to be in the middle of all this, doing what he can, try to make this happen, but no, look at how well this is working. Heaven Time's going to go down. Everything working so nicely.
Nian TP'd in to the backside of that fight. And now Baby Zeus, he's going to go down in the middle. The blue's going to transfer over to Hanser. But in the meantime, it's still 3K gold lead for Fang Gaming off of that.
They've made so many better choices in the mid game. And they're not even like the most obvious choice. They're just turning back when someone goes back to mid lane and finding the kills.
Yeah. Like, Nian's been top by himself for a very long time. He's actually going to teleport onto this ward right behind all of them on that pink ward. And he comes up, the flash out after the kick, and they get Laud pretty single-handedly. Will Hood Stomp here. I think they can turn around with that TP, but Nian Thompson's already there, and he gets the cancel too.
Yeah, exceptional stuff right there by these guys. Very well played. So, Fang Gaming, I mean, we said, hey, Nian's the shot caller here. He's done, they haven't been very heavily tested, but we know it's a good team, and they have made such good choices mid-game. Nice of Baby Eater right there. Little Leona Mechanics clears the ward, so that's going to remain darkness. I'm impressed by FFG here.
Yeah, FFG have been putting on a great show so far. Latman coming up big at 2-0-5, 100% kill participation alongside Baby Eater, who I was talking to Fang earlier today, and he's like, yeah, Baby Eater is one of our best players. He's very underrated.
Yeah, he's great. 106, flawless performance so far, 100% kill participation.
And I don't think it's just his mechanics. I think that he knows which target doesn't have flash down, or doesn't have flash up, and he will focus that person with his Zenith Blades and his aggression. Absolutely
agree. Like, all the in-fight target choices have been very crisp, and people are following up, hitting the right guy. Like, I absolutely agree. Maybe you're just finding the right targets. People are listening to him and getting those guys down. The fact that they ran in, just like dove on Lot and knew they'd get it.
Oh, they're sitting in this bush right now, and they actually pinged back.
That
Careful.
was smart. Heaven Time baited him just in time. Gonna stay safe. Nian Thompson will be getting red buff for himself, still splitting a fair bit, but no teleport, of course, right now.
And Dragon's actually coming up in 3 seconds. It's up actually right now. And they're still camping this area with LoLPro having no vision. They're going to have to muscle their way in there, but Nian Tanso is coming in alongside Baby Zeus.
Positioning right now not great, though, for Fang Gaming. They're trying to surround, but they don't have
the
easy way in.
The ball is going to keep them zoned for a while. It's too much of a threat. Despite Laud not having a lot of kills, he has the most CS in the game.
See what they can get with this one. They're still looking for the attempt there. Baby Eater walking
forward. They put themselves in the pit.
Ooh, they're going to go for this dive anyway. Stun on a Heaven Time. There's the tidal wave coming across as well. A lot of damage comes through. Blue team picks up Dragon. The fight has begun, and a great windmill is going to stop some of the damage there. But Laud and everyone else getting still damage in the back lines. Heaven Time takes the KO ulti. Baby Eater forced to run away. The shield's enough to keep him alive, and there's the engage, but it's going to be Nian going down, and now the damage has broken. 3 kills coming all at once for LoLPro. Captain Ziklock turns one back, but this 3-1 fight plus Dragon for LoLPro.
We were just talking about how the target selection for Fang Gaming has been so crisp, but that fight, it just fell apart. There were multiple targets there that were just being chunked down a bit, and nobody actually gets dropped except for Low. Niantanso didn't get his last breath off until way late into the fight, right before his death. He actually had his last breath in the last breath when he came down. On Hauntzer, didn't end up getting the kill, didn't end up killing Laud or Hood Stomp, just all around just kind of falling apart there. And we're going to see it here. They all kind of separate around. Laud's the one who gets hit by it. They section them off and watch their target selection. Niantanso is no longer in this. Heaven Time, he has the ultimate on. Now it's like, oh, let's go after Hauntzer. Wait, no, let's go after them. They get Laud up, but nobody ends up dying. The split from Latman and from the rest of the damage is just not on the same person.
Yeah, and actually that was a really rough wind wall this game as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, we talked about Nian's Yasuo a bit, but like I haven't actually seen a great wind wall yet this fight. He hit it after the tidal wave went through and hit his team. He got it while Cog's already retreating back and has someone else to hit as well. So realistically, there's not like that's one of the big skills. Like that's it's weird, but it's like kind of part of the reason you pick Yasuo is you can shut down an AD carry by hitting W at the right time, and that's not something I've seen yet from Nian. So most of his team play calls have been great. Individual plays, I'm not sold on right now.
Yeah, going to have to see because both of these teams, and I've talked with both of them, they rely more on their rotations than their individual players and their shot calling. So it's going to be Niantanso and Low, and who can really direct the team better in a more crisp way. But it's showing that they're both going toe to toe so far. Up top, though, it looks like the call was sit in the bush until we find Hauntzer overextending. Don't know if that's going to happen, though. He's playing really safe.
He's playing. I mean, it shows in the item build as well. He went second at Zonia's hour.
Wow, what?
He is trying real hard to not get caught out by stuff. You know, if you can. Okay. There, right? Like, if you're gonna get solar flared,
yes,
you have to blow ulti or you die before you're unstunned, or you're at like 12 health and you're out of the fight anyway. But if you can blow Zonia's for it, like I just dodge the solar flare, it's like, I mean, yeah, I have less damage than a death cap, but it completely enables your champion to do different things in a fight. So. It's an odd build, but I think it does make sense based on this team comp of Fang Gaming. And
the fact that he was up against Niantanso for so long, he's going to want the extra armor for himself. Also, he could use his Zonias to avoid the knockup.
Sure, yeah.
And negate the whole last breath portion. Now, 40 CS up, pretty close to being the highest CS in the game for Hauntzer, but he also has 100% kill participation for his team. So Hauntzer is getting big quickly. And Heaven Time, he's actually surrounded by two. What are they going to do about it?
Well, they took the time with this one. Knockup is there for Nian. Does he get the double knockup? Yes, he does. The solar flare getting a slow as well. There's the Zonia's popped. And now can they go in for the rest of this fight there? They're trying to run away. Can they get the damage? Ziploc kicked back. Heaven Time gets the KO ulti. Nian going to chase down onto Hauntzer now instead. Misses the Q, but gets the second one there. Kill picked up on that one. 5v4 on the map. Baby's just getting chased down. The big damage, but Kog'Maw dies. 3 kills picked up. Nian getting the double. Another one goes down as the Kog'Maw falls. And what a beautiful fight there by Fang Gaming.
Oh, they're going straight for Baron?
27 minutes in, wind wall there.
A lot of the damage from the wind wall at the start.
Shields used to try to get Ziploc to heal up through the Ancient Golem before he takes some real damage from Baron. So far, so good. Locket also used, and this is going to work beautifully. Baron Nashor picked off a 4-0 fight for Fang Gaming. So well done.
Very decisive call there. Heaven Time went up to the top and just used his safeguard before the fight even started. Now they're going to get rewarded with 4 kills, a Baron, a tier 2 turret, and tons of gold for themselves.
We got mountains of it right there. Fort Knox waiting in the base there for Fang Gaming to cash in. And this was all kinds of a turnaround there. You just saw this blown out 4-for-0 fight or 4-for-1 fight down at Dragon. Fang find the way in on this.
I want to cover this because Heaven Time, he has no W at this point. Niantanso beautifully gets both of them locked up. Zonia's is used, and now they're collapsing around. And off on the right side, we didn't get to watch this, but Low is there. He's trying to get Latman out of the fight with Baby Zeus. Shockwave hits nobody. So this fight is actually trailing off, and Hood Stomp gets so low from just Light Slinger passive that by the time that the culling comes out, he can no longer tank it. So we watch Niantanso go down to the side and just handle that fight perfectly from start to finish with the burst. And the fact that the Zonia's was timed later than the last breath means that Hauntzer just ate the damage and then just couldn't do anything about it later and got picked off.
Yeah,
I think that the fact that they came in at the right angles that they were coming from is what set that fight up for LoLPro, for Frank Fang Gaming, and the fact that LoLPro was caught off guard completely. They had no idea how many members were around.
Yeah, it was great. They tried a couple times for that like Fnatic brush, and that time it did work out.
They do that a lot.
It's exceptional.
Sometimes they sit around and they get nothing from it.
Sure, that's how it works, right?
But
you're playing the odds, and you're hoping they show up.
And you only need one, and then you get Baron. You need a 4-0.
Yeah.
You get Baron.
You get one, you get the lopsided fight, and the game turns around. So exceptional stuff now by Frank Fang Gaming, making the right choices. A 3,000 gold difference of this game, regardless, still very close. It's up to FFG to make something happen off this Baron buff.
Something else I really liked about that fight that happened was they only sent Nien to go deal with him, with Hanser. And also, Heaven Time was running around, so it was basically a 3-on-4.
Exactly.
That's what happened on the right side. And then Nien came back, and he's like, oh, Heaven Time's still here? Stab him right in the gut and move on.
Beautiful stuff. So there we go. Dragons rush down. Baron buff earns that one for him. Still 2 minutes left until that one's going to time off them. So what else can they gain with these temporary stats? I don't know anyone who would go into that brush.
Oh.
I feel like there's no way you can do that.
Don't know,
yeah,
he's dead now.
To be fair, I've played solo queue. I've done that, to be fair. I've done that probably 50 times.
I knew a man who went into that bush once. He's dead now.
Yep. I don't know what that's from, but...
Nope, it's from nothing. He just
made it up?
Yep.
It sounded epic.
That's cool.
That man doing some fancy moves. Zipping back and forth.
Ooh, that one has a ward in it. They're going to clear it out and then move up after it's expired.
I like that only Baby Eater's showing. They're still hoping that they can get this weird bait going.
They know there's at least two. Oh, there's another.
Now they know they're all there. And you can't easily defend a tier 2 turret like this.
The jig is up. Now they got to go.
Try.
It's very difficult.
It's possible with Orianna. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Is those kinds of turrets with your champion pool, you can sometimes do it. It's one that I'm always like really afraid of. It's like tier 2 turrets. You can surround them. You can dive on them. Baby Eater realistically could try to dive because he's tanky, but Shockwaves are scary.
The way in for them is Nien Tanso. He's going to continue to split push top and then TP into the fights after they've been engaged already, or they've been engaged on Frank Fang Gaming side, because this team is not oriented towards sieging. This composition is absolutely abysmal at sieging. You can really just clear waves with Lucian and maybe a little bit with Lulu, but up against LoLPro, you have Kayle, you have Orianna who can just place the ball and just do pretty much proximity wave clear.
Yeah.
And then Hoodstomp's not afraid to throw his ultimate out at all to just clear him out.
Yeah, get people up.
So Nien's going to farm. He's going to get to a really big point. He's going to get the IE, get the 100% crit build going for him, as well as the magic resist that he's already stacked on with the Negatron Cloak early, to get to this point where he is pretty much just a huge beast that bursts your team down, since there's no real dedicated tank alongside just Heaven Time right now. Get into the back line, see what he can do, and TP's going to help him do that.
I like it. And because now at this point I think he's just so scary against Hanser that you can start splitting the team up, and life becomes painful for LoLPro with this kind of lead for Frank Fang Gaming. Baron buff timing out very soon. And it's really a lot on Lod. He has a whole bunch of money, the most on his team. If he can burst out the primarily squishy lineup of FFG, then they can turn these fights around.
Yeah, but the most gold in the game is Mr. Latman.
Yep. 415 Lucian.
I wonder if that's for his latissimus dorsis. He's just a lat man.
I got
He
you.
like blasts his lats every day. He's got big wing-looking things.
I mean, again, if you're an AD carry, you put your team on your back. You're gonna need strong back.
There you
muscles.
go. That's why he's the lat man.
I think that's like the most meta AD carry screen I've ever seen. That's awesome. I really hope that it doesn't even matter. It is now the reason he picked the name. Rewrite his entry in Leaguepedia. That is now why he picked the name. Confirmed 2014 on Riot stream.
Blasting his lats on Frank Fang Gaming, trying to carry them. But it's team effort. You can see Nien Tanso up here in the top lane with Captain Ziploc called to his side, waiting for a nice juicy pick to come, because this is how this team operates. I said they're abysmal at sieging. That's why they're looking for the picks. That's why they're looking for the pink ward bushes over and over and over again. Oh, they might get a little nibble, might get a bite, because Kale's coming up that way. Ziploc's backing.
Bottom lane turret taking a little bit of damage there, but Hood Stomp able to defend that. Minions only hit so hard. And it's going to be a nice, slower game here. The problem is LoLPro, they've got such good late game. They've got Kayle, they've got Kog'Maw, they've got ways to protect those things. I am concerned for FFG's future if they don't find a way to force the issue more.
Yeah, they're going to have to just try and get in there. And I was just informed that his last name is Latman.
Doesn't matter. Still the reason he picked the name.
Just so
that is a
everyone
secondary detail.
Man, maybe his parents were just really meta and knew he was going to play League of Legends.
Yep.
Blast
when they got
that.
married, they were like, all right,
It's going to grow
gotta make sure our son plays League of Legends.
So they're still looking for this pick. They've been sitting here forever. Is it going to pay off? And now they're going to go for it.
Hansa going to take a little bit of damage. He's got to be careful with this one. When he's going to pop the ult, he pops it there, gets the knockup, goes for the lockdown, and pops the Zonia. So he's taking a good long time to go down, but he's still got almost nowhere to go. There we go. They earned it. Captain Ziploc now unstoppable at 5-1 and 4.
That's how they crack the base, though. They can't siege very well, so they need to create a numbers advantage for themselves and then split themselves between lanes and just be like, all right, it's 1-2-2. You guys can go 1-1-2, and then we will slowly but surely crack that lane where you were outmatched.
You got to be careful, though. Someone's getting caught out in this one.
Nian
it's going to be a 3-on-2, but he's going to go for this one anyway. Nian's got to be pretty careful.
Again.
Oh my gosh, will they get anything going? No, they just lose a lot of health, and Baron's back up. Keep that one in mind, but now Captain Ziploc in this battle. But again, these are the injured members of the team. Lod can just carry this fight, but there's the bot lane fight. Latman forced to run away. Exhaust is on him. They do get the kill on a lot of the mid lane, but this fight's still going on. Bubble on a Baby Eater. Latman looks like he's not going to be able to pop that one, but the mid laners have all died. 2 more kills went down, and there's means another turret picked up in the 3-on-2.
Yeah, Nian Tanso, he got his last breath cooldown back up again. It is extremely short at level 16. But look at that, Latman, he's going to take another.
Got him down. Hood Stomp forcing the flash away from Baby Eater as well, but mid lane inhibitor now falling down rapidly, and Fang Gaming got their way in. They baited out that fight just well enough, and they made it into the base.
It's very difficult when there's a huge fight going on that doesn't involve your shot caller, and he's in another lane during a split, because you have to watch multiple lanes and get really good information.
Hey, it's up to them, man. You got to trust them to fight.
Yeah, and it happened today earlier when we were watching the EG game. Shot caller's off somewhere else, and look at this. He doesn't get that one, but he comes back in afterwards, and he'll get his last breath off to help secure this entire fight. Propel keeps him safe, but look at that.
There it is.
Right off the ultimate.
That was a good call. Flash blew the ulti into last breath, letting everyone know those ultis were available. And they just blew up that poor Orianna. But look at this. Look at this. LoLPro. Off the recalls. The fights were so protracted.
Oh, he threw an ultimate at
it.
Baby Eater just threw his fight initiator. Ziploc's going to have to go into this.
He does have flash.
Just fair.
And no one's throwing the wards. They can actually go for the steal and try to do the attempt right there. Goes
they
in
pulled
early,
off of it.
And they're going to try to go for this one, but oh my gosh. Captain Ziploc is still too high to smite away right now, and he's on the wrong side of this battle. Goes for it, gets it! Well done, Captain Ziploc. Flashes the wall, and the fight is on. Big damage comes through, but Nian falls down. It's going to be 2 kills to 1 so far. This is going really nicely, but they answer 2 back. No, Hoodstar on the wrong side of this fight. He just goes in into the face of everyone else, trades 1 back, but goes down. Captain Ziploc won't even die either, so 3-2 plus Baron. Fang Gaming come up big.
That was Ziploc versus World right there.
Yeah.
Versus Baron and the other team. He was in there by himself for so long. The team of LoLPro had pulled off, and he was just sitting at the gate like, I got to do the Baron, you guys. I got to do it, and he kills it at the very, very end of that. Incredible play there. LoLPro was the right call to pull off. They just didn't do enough damage to Ziploc because they would have been collapsed on sooner. So it was kind of a lose-lose situation, and they had to go after the Baron. But now they have to defend these turrets.
Baby just goes in, face tanks this turret, and no one's going to be there to defend it for a few seconds, which will be enough for Latman and Baby to take it down. So, turret falls. Fang Gaming now at 7 turrets killed, which means all of Tier 1 and Tier 2 is gone. Mid inhibitor, as we saw a little while ago, was taken away. And they're going to get Dragon as well off this, so a big gold spike coming in for Fang Gaming. They are looking really well poised to win Game 1.
Yeah, a lot of power spikes here, too. Nian Tanso, he got his level 18 very quickly. He has his 100% crit build coming in. He's going for the Guardian Angel. As soon as that is completed, it's going to be extremely deadly for LoLPro. It's going to be very difficult to deal with it because they're going to have to need they're going to need a perfect team fight with a perfect shockwave to pull off a victory in this one.
Can they find it then is the question, because that will be all kinds of difficult.
And it's fun, too, because Fang Gaming, they had kind of this pit comp that sucks at sieging, but then they cracked the base, they got the inhibitor, and now they just have to full-on team fight. You can't really pick them off because Fang, the way they get picks is you come out of the base. LoLPro's just sitting in the base.
They're not leaving the base in this one. They've had those turned around one too many times, I'm pretty sure.
They're going to have to just farm up and wait for Fang Gaming to come to them.
But that's the difficulty, right? Is aside from mid, inhibitor not going to have a turret up, and that's going to respawn actually really soon, the inhibitor itself. There's so much wave clear from LoLPro, right? You've got Hurricane almost done now on Kale. You've got pretty much the full offensive build done here for Orianna. You've got a Kog'Maw who's got big Void Ooze on top of everything else, like just pretty good at killing minions as well. And you can see, these minions die rather rapidly, and Lod can generally clear them from safety. So it will require just sucking it up and going for it for Fang Gaming.
And now let's see, can they actually do it? Niantanso, he loves this bush.
Yes, he does.
You're going to have some PTSD from being in this top lane near that bush if you play against Niantanso.
Yeah.
He just loves this sucker right here.
He's a fan of shrubberies.
He's a shrubber.
Yes, he's a shrubber.
The knights who say Niantanso.
Yes! That is the exact reference I wanted, thank you. I got the knee and I was like, how do you make that funny?
I've been working with you for too long,
Freak. You sealed the deal, Zyrene, thank you.
Oh, Niantanso, though. Is he going to get knighted off this?
Doesn't actually go for the knockout that was on Heaven Time. It doesn't land the one on towards Haunter, but it does give them some time to look towards the mid lane. The inhibitor is back up, and they've got the Baron buff still.
Yeah, but they can go straight after this inhibitor, and they have great team fight. And the fact that Niantanso, he can pretty much use his last breath, come back, take a little chill for 30 seconds, come back, use it again. It's perfectly fine. And there's no tanks, and I talked about this, but Baby Eater, he's so tanky for himself. This Leona that was overlooked is now the largest tank in defensive stats on this team alongside Ziploc, but they have great backliners who can initiate.
This will be fun then. Can FFG make their way in? They're still respecting the Orianna ball. You're seeing Lod command respect, command attention from these guys. They've actually got a ward up there as well, watching the movements around. Minions die quickly. Now can they get in? Looks like Nian goes off to the left-hand side, looks for the tornado, won't land that, but now the minions are gone, and the fight's going to begin. Nice wall puts actually the ball towards the back line. That's not going to get in yet on this one. There's the engage towards Heaven Time. Half HP, he's going to get away. Shockwave's going to land in a 2. That was a really good one. Latman forces a flash away. Baby Eater pops the ultimate, takes a whole bunch of damage. He goes down to a hood stop, and the fight begins as Haunter is forced towards the back line, but it's a 5v4. Fang Gaming forced to run away from this one. Nien has the knockup, has the wind wall up. There's a stun into Heaven Time. One more attack, and he actually gets the tornado this time around. But that's a kill ulti down. Can they make their way in? He's got to be really afraid of a hood stomp, though. Big damage coming through on that one. More spam coming from above. There's the 2-man knockup. They go into this one. He's forced to back away, though, from the exhaust. But the Kale goes down to the bottom side of that fight. Back to 4v4 we go. And now can they make their way in any farther? Baron buff has timed out, but the wind wall comes out one more time, and the inhibitor falls down. FFG trying to run away the flash in for Kog'Maw. One hit. Captain Ziploc, he's not going to go down just yet, but Baby Zeus takes the bubble. This could be 2 more kills picked up. Latman tries to do what he can. Ziploc does get away. They actually trade back 2 kills, and they're not even dying. I can't believe that. Finally, the Ignite does claim Lulu. Captain Ziploc off in the wings. He still hasn't died in this fight. Lowe's got to be careful. Latman and Nian putting the damage down. Nice snipe there, but Hood stomping the complete fog of war. Picks up the jump there, but there's the knockup. Gets it. Another last breath, and Hoodstomp's got to be real careful. Doesn't get enough damage. Tidal Wave comes out. That'll pop GA, but that's it. Wow.
Such a hectic fight. And I talked about how their win condition for LoLPro is to get a really good Orianna ultimate. They get it onto 2 people, chunks Latman out of the fight. So their AD carry was in the back for a large portion of it. But now they're going to continue to go into the base, and Niantanso, he's looking for low.
And he's going to have the ulti available in about 5 seconds. It could be his 3rd in this protracted engage. And they're going to back out now, but that's 2 inhibitors down now. That's enough for Fang Gaming to set up a siege and close it out with super minions.
Now they're going to go straight for whatever they can get now. This is huge. This fight is just fantastic from all sides. They get 2 people there. Latman, he's off in the back. They focus a lot on Haunter, but in the meantime, Baby Eater just gets dropped. And now this is LoLPro. They actually divide off. They lead Haunter by himself for a little bit, off on the right, where he ends up just getting picked off. Now Hoodstomp, he's trying to do damage to this backline. Great Q comes across here by Niantanso onto 2, which causes Haunter to actually end up in a cocoon, gets blasted by Baby Zeus, and now they're all low. They go for this inhibitor once again, and just completely, like, LoLPro, look at that. They come in a little bit later, and they get Brave once the inhibitor's down. And now Hoodstomp, just trying to do his damage, he actually gets locked up right here with the cocoon that stops his damage output onto Baby Zeus, which gives him enough time to take out Orianna. And then he has to back off, ends up getting Ziploc over the wall from ultimate. Living Artillery comes out here. Whee!
Really nicely done. He did see him leave with the other ward.
But you shouldn't play with fireworks.
Yeah, they'll explode on you. Gotta be careful. And then poor Stomp. Tornado.
2nd tornado, last breath of the fight. I was talking about it earlier, how it's just got such a low cooldown later on in the game. You'll get 2, sometimes even 3 off prolonged engages like that. once you see it used, you have to go all in. LoLPro took too long to re-engage that fight. After the inhibitor was down, we saw a Hood Stomp just flash forward and try to re-engage it with his damage.
Yeah.
If that had been a little bit sooner, then it would have paid off even bigger.
I was watching the entire fight. He was actually playing around his W cooldown the entire time. When it was down, he actually, I think he got 0 auto attacks without W on the entire time. Because he had to be so afraid of Elise, so afraid of a Lulu, so afraid of Yasuo getting you with an E. He remained out of range the entire time. I think that's actually the way you have to play COG. Your team doesn't play around that, but of course, when you've got a limited amount of time before your inhibitor dies, it's a difficult situation. Now top lane being attacked right there. No super minions yet in the base. So Fang Gaming can take another 30 seconds, try again next wave, and then when there's pressure inside, they can get third inhibitor.
If they can crack this base in the top, it's just a matter of time. They just have to stall, not make an engage here for Fang Gaming. Wave clear, do a little bit of damage to the turret. It's already at half HP. The super minions are going to pull attention from the rest of LoLPro. And then they'll have a numbers advantage and they'll be able to take it out very quickly. As soon as they see Kayle in the bottom, they're going to want to clear.
This isn't the right time is the problem because they have no minion wave to actually push the wave down. And Haunter kills this wave so freaking fast. They're going to go anyway. They do go. They go to backdoor, but look at that. Ziploc takes a bunch of damage. Baby Eater now in front. They get some pain through the turret. Does finally not even quite fall, actually. Wow, forced to repel away. And there's the engage, right? Look how much damage they took trying to backdoor that. First inhibitor's coming back. Now minions are back into the base, but look at this. They managed to clear this wave. 5 on 5.
Their base needs help, though.
There we go. Wow, they are losing the turrets now. Another wave of supers come in, and Haunter is not available for the fight, so this time the push is going to work. There was enough pressure put down. Just maybe it's enough.
Haunter on farm duty, on protection. Lod still has the Orianna ultimate. That is LoLPro's way back in this game, whereas Fang Gaming's is can Nian Tanso get a good ultimate off on multiple people. Guardian Angel's down, and he's still very squishy. One misstep could cost him his entire life and the game.
Absolutely could. You got to be careful. I mean, you give these guys a leg back in. They don't have to be afraid of you. And their damage output gets to scale up and be all kinds of scary. We've seen the Hurricane is done for Haunter. He's got Blue Elixir as well to guarantee 100% uptime on E. It's enough CDR to put yourself in a good spot. And you're still waiting around to defend this. All the inhibs are back up. Bot lane, though, is being pushed in by a minion wave, but there's no time for LoLPro to move. This is the attempt right now on this wave for Fang to make their way in. They're putting some damage on. Heaven Time losing a bit of health. Who's going to land into the inhibitor? You just have to hope stays alive if you're a LoLPro fan right now. They've sent Kayle down to clear away. Super minions in the full wave, but that means it's time to go in. Tidal Wave comes across, does hit the team. Nian Tanso puts the wind wall down as well, but that is inhibitor actually falling right now. Shockwave is going to catch up to Captain Ziploc. He's got to be careful. Takes a couple of heals in his shield, puts a stun on Lod, who takes a bunch of damage, but he does stay alive. The bottom inhib will actually go down to minions anyway, despite the fact they couldn't even win the battle. So this is now a very bad situation if you are LoLPro. And look at this mid lane still under fire. Fang Gaming one hit with the third inhib, and now's the fight. They don't go for the hard engage just yet, though. Captain Ziploc forced all the way back, pops his shields. Lod gets the Kayle ulti, and the GA has been popped by Nian. An all-out brawl inside the fight, and they're gonna get the inhib if they actually hit it, but they're hitting champions right now. Finally it goes down, but only Haunter has died so far. They've traded 1 for 1 as Nian falls as well. Baby Eater goes down. This fight's actually being won right now by LoLPro, but they have no inhibitors up.
And they're going to have double super minions coming into the base there. Nian Tanso, his Guardian Angel came up right before that fight, actually in the middle of it, and then he's able to just respawn, gets taken out after he swings at the inhibitor just once or twice.
Yeah. Oh, missed the jump, but it's okay.
Nobody saw it. His lats are just too big.
Yeah.
Takes away mobility for strength.
Sure. Wall only has space for regular-sized humans. Fang Gaming now. They are in a pretty good spot, though. 3 inhibs down and only 1 Nexus turret. LoLPro is on full-time defense, and in 30 seconds when the team respawns, they should be able to go for this one. Now, I've seen these kind of defenses before. It is possible. Once again, we just saw LoLPro win the fight in front of their base, but it's just going to be so hard for them to actually hold this out. The inhibs actually did die around the same time, so you actually have a couple of waves that are being doubled up like this.
It's possible, but it's difficult, and you also add about 7 minutes to the game time if you're going to win.
Yeah, LoLPro has to hold once, maybe even twice in a row, stabilize, and start making their way through the base. Like, an ace wouldn't win the game for LoLPro.
Even if you ace Fang Gaming right now, like, imagine you went 5-0. Super minions would kill your base before you ended up getting in all the way.
Yeah, before you cross the river, it would probably kill your Nexus. So a lot of fear is going to be healthy right now for LoLPro, but they have to make this attempt. Fang Gaming taking their time, though. They're grabbing this blue buff here. The longer they wait, though, the more chance an inhib respawns and you lose out on the 6x super minion spawn, which I think is something you can ride in to win the game. I'm actually very surprised Fang Gaming aren't rushing this down right now. I feel like your highest chance of winning is when you've got 3 inhibs dead.
Yeah, instead, they're just playing it safe, playing around the Baron timer, seeing if they'll be able to get it. But look at that. We just see Latman going for a red buff.
Okay, they're grouping up
Full
now.
build. 100%. He can't get any stronger than that. He could sell his boots for Zephyr, but that's about it.
Okay, so it's still, the wave that just spawned right now is still a double super minion wave. 8 minions spawned right there, so not enough time was wasted by FFG to let an inhib come back up. So they actually did the math right. They did the math right. They didn't lose out on the massive minion spawns there. So this is still a good timer. They've got all their buffs on the map as well. This is the highest Fang Gaming will probably ever spike in this game right now. A little bit of harass coming down, removes Banshee's Veil if anywhere up. There weren't any anyway, but hey, would have done it. And now Hood's not going to be careful taking some damage because a huge amount of damage on Baby Zeus off the screen. Shields were used to keep him alive. And is that going to be enough to actually force FFG away? The hero moves from Hoodstomp. Might have just bought another minute of time.
Yeah, Baby Zeus is going to have to back off of that. He still has his ultimate, but he doesn't want to use anything that he doesn't have to. So he's just going to bide his time. Baron will be up very soon, and that's going to be the next point of contention here that Fang Gaming want to go for. Question is, will LoLPro go for it? They have way too much attention on their base, though.
There is a lot of attention here, and I think we're done. Yep, we're done with double spawn supers. This is the last wave of double supers, and the rest of the inhibs are spawning in the next 30 to 45 seconds there. So LoLPro have held their base against 3 inhibs down and 1 Nexus turret down. Baron is coming up right about now. LoLPro have very little time to leave their base alone. If they lose the fight, they lose the game. And so they will allow Fang Gaming the Baron, but you just had 5 minutes of dedicated free farm for Team LoLPro to get the items back up. Their AD carry, Hoodstomp, is completely done with his build. He didn't even get a defensive item. He went all damage right here, adding the Triforce to the Static Shiv, to everything else there. Ton of attack speed on the champion, plenty of crit. And you have to be so afraid of him, and there's not a lot of good ways to get to him because you've still got a Nami, an Orianna, and a KO to back him up.
And he really hasn't been the target either. They've been going after everybody else except for him. He has the second least deaths on his team right next to Nami, who's just been right next to him, low the entire time at his side, providing moral support. But man, nobody really tanky except for Heaven Time. But that's the thing, is Fang Gaming have bigger frontliners right now that take a little longer to burst through, just a little bit longer in those extra seconds when you have such high damage members of your team. Oh, wow.
Yeah, Captain Ziploc takes some shields. It's going to lose about a quarter of his health as well, but Baron buff was up, meaning a regen for the Fang Gaming squad. Red Elixir on Hoodstomp, but not blue, so he's missing that 10 CDR, which would be nice for the guy. Getting pushed around still a little bit more. You got to see what you can do with this one. There we go. He's double Elixired now, so 10 CDR on his W, so about 1.8 seconds off.
Oh.
Wave clear from Latman, putting the damage through. Here we go for attempt number 15 to push him to the base.
Ooh. Not going to take that, yeah.
Yeah,
one person. Nian's a greedy man.
It would force Kale ulti, but you'd probably lose your GA if you're Nian.
Oh,
wow, look at the damage output there. Wind Wall's like 3 attacks late, loses half his health, where Hoodstomp is still going to regen off these minions. You notice that they're letting him hit them to get his health back up.
And he needs that. We're going to see low. Oh, the split push coming out here from Baby Zeus.
It's a Lichbane Lulu as well, which means very good damage to structures there. Cocoon gonna land it a lot, but Hoodstomp just pushing the team away every single time. He goes in, a Wind Wall is used.
Yeah, Yasuo is going to be banned next game. Yasuo is going to be banned next game.
There's a good chance of that one.
Yeah. Whether it's on Hoodstomp's authority or somebody else on LoLPro's. Basically, if Yasuo wasn't wind walling right there, the punishment for the positioning of Fang Gaming would be very evident.
Yeah, Nian's only ever lost 1 game in competitive on Yasuo in recent record. And that was actually like 2 days ago. So
he goes for another attempt.
He does get some good damage down. That's going to be everything burned to keep him alive. And actually a good disengage by Nian as well. Didn't lose his flash or anything. Hoodstomp lost both summoners, but we did keep the Kale ulti. Baby Zeus' split push did get the mid lane inhibitor. Well done there by FFG to make those plays. Now Baby Zeus looks for the bottom lane. Can he kite around everyone else? Top lane also taking some damage. This is a 4-on-4. Kale's not around. Gonna turn back in. Heaven Time actually getting CC'd up. Oh, a 3-man shockwave. Is that enough? A good wind wall, though, is gonna stop all of Hoodstomp's damage, though he finally walks past that, looks for Captain Ziploc. Flash Force away. He stays alive for that one, but Elise finally goes down. They found a 1-for-0. They're still pushing these guys away. Baby Eater has to go, and he's been caught. He looks for the sun into Hoodstomp, but he's got nowhere to go, which means another kill comes through, and LoLPro find a 2-for-0. Now Latman forced to jump the wall. Hoodstomp not quite guessing properly with the ultimate, but there comes a ward across the wall as well. Nien's got to be real careful. Hoodstomp gets a slow. He's got a lot of damage to put down. They're going to go for this duel. Who can win the fight? It's definitely not Latman, but Nien's off on the side. There's Baby Zeus, and Hoodstomp is so alone right there. Well overextended. Gives up a kill that he should not have. The knockup in for Nien. Looks for LOH as well. Loses out on his GA. Haunters around. One hit from dead. The bubble. He gets the kill and trades it back. And now Latman, though, trying to kite away from Heaven Time. Can he make the play? The giant slow comes in. The flash from Kale. The burst comes out. Not going to be enough. Haunter clicks up the kill. Only 2 guys died from LoLPro, but 4 went down for FFG.
Yeah, and that flash there at the very end, low, he throws the bubble and actually flashes onto Nien's body. So if he was trying to E out of it, then it wouldn't have worked as well. I mean, he'd still go a distance, but...
I feel like you flash away in that case. You don't E at all.
Yeah.
That was a little...
I was trying to justify it, but I'm like,
I think you want to like self-cast W or something, right? And like prevent a flash. Because he knows if he E's, he'll die, right?
Yeah.
And if he goes away, you're in range to W and kill him.
I'll just say that Low sacrificed himself.
Sure.
There we go.
I trust his intentions were pure.
Yes. Execution. Well,
he did die, so there was execution.
That's true. You want to take a bubble bath with Nien there.
All right.
At the very end. I'll go with that one.
That's a choice.
So this entire fight, all these fights have just been a very, very chaotic. The 3-man shockwave. And then Nien Tonso at this point, last breath was actually on cooldown there is what it looked like, what I saw. We threw that last one out. But yeah, Baby Eater comes in the back line and just gets shredded by Hoodstomp after the CC is down. And now Hoodstomp goes for the chase on the Latman, decides to chase him around the left side, stops for a second, and then he goes, but here's the thing, is Nien comes back in, they're like, oh, we should go after Nien. Wait, Hoodstomp, what are you doing? They have no vision here, and he gets surrounded. Nien's actually come and looped around the other way. Yeah. Now, this part right here, flashes the bubble, gets the knockup and the last breath, but the exhaust comes down, he gets taken out. Here, we're gonna see the bubble come out, boom, flashes on top of it too, and gets taken out.
Because bubble doesn't go any faster if you're close range. I think it was supposed to be like a flash bubble, like flash hooks or like flash like Leona E's or like, you know, things like that.
Bubble
that doesn't do anything with bubble. It's a static travel time.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like, you know? It was like this way to get the bubble down sooner.
Sometimes you just want to take a bubble back.
All right.
That's my reasoning. That's the only justification I could come up with.
Same with Latman. It doesn't matter what the actual evidence is. It's just like we've made it up, so now it's true.
Lowe's gonna tell me later what it was for.
Fine.
And
it's like something we're like completely missing, and it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't think of that. But you know what? Right now, though, 2 inhibitors dead, and they're trying again now. LoLPro have to defend the fact that the split push of Baby Zeus worked really well. Hoodstomp dodges a lot of the damage there. Well done on this one. And now it's Kale defending a bunch of minions, but it's Hurricane Kale. She's good at that stuff.
Yeah, she's definitely good at clearing these waves. Super minions are no problem for Kale either. And this game, it's pretty much even now. Because full build on multiple members here from LoLPro. There's a couple of them that still have about 1 more item to finish up. Yeah. But this 12K gold advantage, 57 minutes into game 1 here between these 2 teams. A very tense situation. Next winner of a team fight will get a huge advantage.
Solar Flare hits Hoodstomp. That could be rough, but a tidal wave is perfect and stops everybody. Windwall, though, keeping the team alive. He's getting no damage through it. Now it falls over, but gets a knock up there and allows the team to disengage. Voidu's not going to hit really anyone FFG. They go in 1 more time. Knockup's there, and they're going to go in, but oh my gosh, he just goes down. Hoodstomp kills off Nien and Baby Eater 1 more time. He's in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Laud now on a rampage, and look at this LoLPro completely catching up now. Now, can they keep the inhibitors alive and make their way back across the map? That's the real test.
Yeah, the big thing with these team compositions is that Fang Gaming's is terrible at sieging, and they're split pushing it with their basically their utility, the person who's supposed to be setting up Nien Tonso with the knockup, into the side lane. Their synergy is gone at that point. They've pulled out Hanser, so he can't keep Hoodstomp alive, but Hoodstomp is fine, just chilling in the back, doing as much damage as possible. He shredded Nien down in a couple of seconds there, despite the wind wall.
I gotta say, I really, really like how well Hoodstomp's playing this game.
Oh yeah.
He is, because a team that has a decent way in on him, he is putting this team on his back. He's the lat man of this game. He's got the lats here. But Hoodstomp, I mean, I like his item build to, he had Shiv, then he sold for PD because PD's more damage. The fact that he went 6 offense is the right choice. I actually like that he's actually staying on Zerk Greaves with Fear Boots. I actually wouldn't change a single item on this build right here because he needs the mobility more than he needs more damage, more than he needs more durability. This is, I think, the exact optimal build right now.
Yeah, and I would say Hoodstomp's actually doing it right because he's using his legs to lift, not his back.
Yes.
That's where the stomp comes in. He's been working out for a long time now, since CLG Black.
The one thing, actually, theoretically you could change is Triforce for Frozen Mallet. Just to perma-slow somebody.
Okay. He would lose some movement speed and kiting potential there, but okay.
Actually, here's what I would change. I would switch Zerker Greaves for Ionian Boots Lucidity. Because 20% attack speed does not mean very much at this stage of the game. 15 CDR for your W does.
Okay.
It's like 2 to 3 seconds off the cooldown, which is a very significant margin.
Okay.
Because you can't fight when that thing's down.
Yeah. Well,
his DPS goes to 0.
He goes for, is that second Phantom Dancer there?
Okay, so we still try for second PD. That's okay, I get it.
Yep.
It is less mobility, it is a little bit more damage. I just don't think he hurts for damage right now. I think mobility is the only side he actually cares about.
They're all sitting here waiting for somebody to come out of the base. LoLPro's not going to be that aggressive. They have all these wards across the map because when they got that kill, those kills, they just warded up. They littered the map with wards for the next 3 minutes now. They have one on the side of Baron. They ended up taking it for themselves. They're in a very good spot to just defend, wait for Fang to come to them, and this team that is really bad at sieging is going to have to fight a team fight after some... Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Lo agrees.
He does agree. He knows what's going on. Stump's got a whole bunch of damage output, chaining double elixirs. He's still... so he's like sold and bought 2 or 3 different tier 3 items now at this point. Still has not upgraded his trinket.
Yep. I like the scrying orbs, though, coming out from Hauntzer and Laud. Because this entire
game
team
would be sitting in brushes.
Exactly. They'd be sitting in brushes, chilling. And what's going to help you? That is.
You know what's funny is that at the very beginning of the game, you sit in your base, you hide in brushes, wait for people to come into your jungle. 1 hour later, you sit in brushes, waiting for people to come into your jungle.
Wow. Exactly an hour later.
Come full circle.
Oh, my God.
Like, I'm waiting for Blue Off to spawn in 3, 2, 1, and then, like, they go, right, you know?
Yeah. Well, they're making Baby Zeus, sorry, push that bottom lane just really hard and try to make a big wave there for themselves, and then Fang will push top, but at the same time, it's a very difficult situation. They could just run up to the base. They don't need the minion waves behind them. It would help. But I don't like the split push strategy here, especially since Baby Zeus doesn't have teleport. Latman's going to go get red, and then they'll regroup again. They're just playing this very safe. Now, at this point in the game, it really is even across the board. The gold doesn't matter.
The gold doesn't matter. The problem is the champions do, and those tend to work in LoLPro's favor. They've won a bunch of fights in a row, basically, from a gold deficit, from having actually a lack of items. That's no longer the case. You've got Death Cap done for low. He said that for a short time now, but it means better heals, more damage from his slow. And he's going to have, I'm guessing, I think this is going to be Zhonya's next. I don't think DFG makes sense here. He can't really get it on anyone.
Oh, wow. They've been sitting in brush for so long here for LoLPro, or for Fang Gaming, that LoLPro is just going to push up the middle right now. And Nian's still sitting in a bush.
Well, this is going to give time. This could be the base race situation right here. Like, you could have Baby Zeus push down, Lichbane, Lu's going to do a lot of damage, and you can defend with wind walls to keep your turrets alive. The flash and ooh. Forcing a flash away. Okay, Latman's going to stay alive. Now. There we go. Inhibitor taking a whole bunch of damage. They're going for this one. We still got Baby Zeus pushing the bottom lane, but Minifib is gone. Here we go. Can they get it? Baby Zeus, Lichbane doing what he can, but there's the engage.
So
where is Yasuo? They're actually pushing in. They're just trading the bases right now. First turret goes down. Bottom turret's dying as well. Who's going to get it?
They're going
being hit. They're going for it. Who's going to do the damage in time? Oh, wow. It's going to be LoLPro taking down the Nexus just barely. They turtled it out for 60 minutes. The base race comes in.
And we talked about how you lose all 3 inhibitors, you prolong the game time. If you're going to win,